Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Wednesday, January 7th, 2009. This morning I'd like to continue with the blog server example I was looking at yesterday, and I wanted to show a few things that I left out and a few extensions that I've made to the application using the features of Web Velocity. So let's dive into my blog server, and we'll pick the class I want to look at. I'm going to go to Post View UI, and what I'm going to do is show you some of the stuff that I was working on. What I've done, and before I really show you the code, let's do this. We'll go up here back to blog server, and we'll browse the posts.html, and you'll see that what's happening here is instead of the tabular layout you saw before, we have this link to the post itself, the date printing out here, and then the post content here, and it's in reverse chronological order the way you'd expect. So how did I do that? Well, what I did is I went in here to Post List UI, went to the source code, and it turns out that in rendering HTML, you see there's this render details on method that I've gone ahead and grabbed a sort collection on this. I've sorted the objects, which are each post object coming in, sorted them by, if you scroll over here you can see I've sorted them by the creation date, so I have the reverse chronological order. I've gone down here and created a callback on the anchor for each title, put out the date, and then put a paragraph with the content in it. So it's all pretty simple. The question you probably want to ask yourself though is, how did I know to do that? Well, that's pretty simple. You go to visibility here, and you see I'm currently looking at post list UI. Let's go up to generic list UI, which is one level up. And if you go down here to rendering HTML, you'll find this is where we have render details on, and I've overridden it in the subclass. But if you were to go up, you'd find that this is where the tabular display was. And here we have it, render details on here. This is the one that's original. So you see it's doing this tabular display, and here's what I've done in the subclass. So I wanted to get rid of this and replace it with this, and I just wrote my own code. I didn't invoke super or any of that. I just replaced it. And that's pretty much the scaffolding that's in place for Web Velocity as you can do this. But that's not really the only scaffolding. Let's go back out to blog server, and I mentioned themes yesterday. Let's hit the themes link up here. Right now I'm on the default theme. Notice there are a few others here. There's Ocean Mist, there's Beach, there's Ragged Shore, there's a couple others that are not rendering for reasons I'm not really sure about right now. I'll hit Beach. So I've selected this as my default, and I want to go ahead and show that in post.html. So there it is. So let's go back out here, and we'll say, oh, I don't know, Seaside. And now what we'll do is click on it again, show that in the post.html, and now we can see it in that. So you can change the theme, and in fact, if you go and look at the code, these themes are really nothing more than some CSS. So if you want to create your own theme, all you need to do is find somebody that knows CSS and presentation, have them create an appropriate theme for the kind of application you're writing, and you're off to the races. So that's pretty much it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.